All right, welcome to another video. I actually was just browsing the internet and I saw that a commonly asked question about ADHD is whether or not adults can have ADHD. And I just wanted to answer that really quickly. The answer is yes. Adults can have ADHD. A long time ago, professionals did not believe that adults could have ADHD. People believed that children had ADHD and then they would outgrow it. So because of that, there's a lot of adults that are undiagnosed, and some adults don't know that they can have ADHD. And so just to kind of clear that up really simply, yes, adults certainly can have ADHD. It's actually a lifelong issue that people deal with, ADHD. Okay. Now, without kind of stopping there, I wanted to at least, I'm a therapist in private practice. I own a group practice, and one of the issues we work on with people is ADHD symptom management, right? So helping people manage their ADHD. And then we do some coaching as well to improve upon executive function skills and things like that. We actually just launched a coaching community. It's a whole online platform. We have videos on there with skills and tools. We've got discussion modules and things like that. If you're interested, you can go ahead and down in the description and check it out. But I wanted to share with you just a couple of different ways in which adults experience ADHD. Now, I'm going to speak strictly from anecdotal experience, just kind of give you a picture of what it might look like for people, because it doesn't look the same for everyone. And a lot of the misconception is that people with ADHD just can't sit still, or they're kind of like distracted all the time. This is again a common misconception, although that can be an issue. It's unlikely that an adult presents that way. And now this will not be exhaustive. I'm just going to give you a couple of examples of what it might look like. And so just first and foremost, one major way people describe ADHD as an adult is that they'll come and usually tell me that they are always feeling just behind the eight ball. Oftentimes they're able to get their work done, but it's like last minute, or it's not the quality they want it to be done, or maybe they are missing a couple things. They're just not functioning to the degree of consistency that they want to. And again, they describe this as having their head slightly above water, but always on the cusp of drowning, right? And this is a common experience for most people. Now, the reasons for all that can be different, but oftentimes they'll describe procrastination, poor time management skills, waiting to the very last minute to get things done, or feeling like there's not enough pressure, so they wait till the deadline. So this is just kind of like an umbrella description. Always feeling behind the eight ball. Barely keeping it together is another way people describe it, right? And so then, what are some of the things people experience? A huge one is procrastination. But if we kind of go a little bit deeper than that, it's a lack of motivation is what people describe. They'll say they don't feel motivated to do what they know they need to do, and they just cannot find it within themselves to do the task. The motivation is just not there. And I don't mean just like, every person at some point experiences like a lack of motivation. But the way they describe it is it's different than that. It's kind of a lack of motivation that goes beyond perhaps someone without ADHD. In fact, Dr. Barkley, he's a leading expert in ADHD. He actually refers to ADHD as a motivation deficit disorder. So I hear that a lot. And then this lack of motivation leads to things like procrastinating, right? So clients will describe waiting to the very last minute to get work tasks done, or to do home projects, things that are required of them. And they find that the deadline and the pressure and the potential consequences are enough to motivate them. But waiting that long has its other consequences. So maybe there's issues at work or issues in relationships. But lack of motivation is a huge one that people describe. I also hear a lot about I'm trying to figure out how to describe this so it's clear. Emotional experiences that are quite vibrant. So people with ADHD will often describe feeling, really happy one day and then really sad the next, or really sensitive to, different experiences that they have. So they can get really excited and then really down. But they kind of describe it as being up and down. So you do see that with adults with ADHD. And this can lead to kind of interpersonal conflicts at times. We see that. We also see a lot of shame and guilt. So people feeling quote unquote stupid or feeling really bad about some of the things they deal with. And, I think that the reason for that is a lot of the issues that ADHD causes for people are things like lack of motivation or forgetfulness. That's another thing that we'll see, a lot of short-term memory issues. So forgetting to do certain tasks, or having a conversation with someone, they ask you to do them a favor and you forget right away. So short-term memory is another issue that we see. And so people feel like if they just work harder, they'll get better at these things. And then they feel a lot of shame for not being able to, they feel like they should just be able to do it. But ADHD causes issues like this, and it's not just a matter of working harder. So we see kind of a lot of this, guilt and shame around ADHD symptoms as well. And these all are discussed and described by adults with ADHD. In our practice, we only work with adults. And again, these are just some of the ways in which people describe ADHD as an adult. Now, if you are watching this and you resonate with some of these things, this does not mean you have ADHD. It is always important to be evaluated by a professional. But if you are resonating with these things, it might be worthwhile thinking about ADHD, looking into it a little bit more. I think ADHD in adults is often overlooked. Anyway, I just wanted to hop on and make this quick video, clear some things up for people. I hope you find it helpful. At the very least, I hope that it was educational, and I'll see you in the next video.